Hello, ground. This is ground crew reporting. I remember when I was in New Zealand, I was talking to a family. Since I was a Chinese, I was talking about China. And when it's their turn to speaking, one of the kids said, "Yeah, I've been China before." I was like, "Oh, really? Where have you been?" And he was like, "I've been Great Wall." And I was like, seriously? The Great Wall, it is just amazing. What else have we been? I've been Xi'an, the Terracotta Army. What else have we been? I've been to Shanghai, huge city. I was like, yeah, that's great. But inside I was like, it didn't really get it, isn't it? China is nothing about all this stuff you just visited. Of course. And thinking about now, the year 2020. So before 2020, China equals, you see, equal symbol, Great Wall. After 2020, China equals bad virus. People like this never get it right. Never get it right. Either the greatest or the worst. It's like black and white. Black and white. Jesus Christ. There's no place in between. Asking random Western people before year 2020. The Great Wall. After year 2020. Oh, bad virus. Why? Why? Since I am a Chinese, I'm born in China, in a Chinese family that has previous generations are all Chinese. I'm a deadly Chinese person who can actually speak understandable English. That's one in a million. That part is only weird enough, but that's not the topic of today. Today's focus is that I'm bringing this credit to myself. So now you could have enough reason to start listening to me. What is actually China? What are actually Chinese person are from a actual Chinese perspective? I live here. For years and years, I've seen things. At least I've seen things surrounding me, right? Of course, not just either black and white. It's the full spectrum in between. That's the actual China. Of course, there are great Chinese people. Of course, they are the worst people ever existing. I was thinking about to try to describe it in one simple sentence. China was great, no doubt. And China is still great, but reversed. Cringe, isn't it? Yeah. Where should I start it? By living here constant. I mean, since I was, at least I spent the whole year 2020 until now, September, pretty much in my home. And by living here, which is a typical Chinese city, My city is second tier. Pretty near, not pretty, but fairly close to Shanghai. So it's within the like Yangtze River Triangle, they call that, which is a condensed just dense like economy area, economy province cluster, bunch of second tier cities which are fairly reasonably rich, not poor at least. My city is alright. The food, the convenience in total is pretty good. You have developed like public transportation. You have great supermarket chains. You just basically get food anytime, anywhere you want. It's in that sense you can have delivery to your door. Actually, my one of my sister, she lives in Texas, and her husband once come back to see us, to visit us. And during the time they live here, my sister's husband was addicted to the delivery service. He basically called the delivery service every single day for lunch, sometimes even dinner. He thought that was great. I'm sure many Americans will love that. It's in the sense of convenience. It's great. It's just absolutely. It's like you spend basically no money and you call the service within like 20 minutes to half an hour normally to deliver any food you pretty much can get downstairs. And you don't have to drive yourself for half an hour to the restaurant to just pick out the food. But I said China is great, but reversed. Well, the convenience is great, but the actual people, when people is the most important thing, the infrastructure, no matter how great infrastructure is, if the people is uneducated, if the people care about nothing just other than survival, other than earning money, then bad things will happen. So there are a lot of scandals of this delivery, just because the delivery guy deliver food for you, so you don't have to, so you don't pick up the food from the restaurant, thus to monitor the quality of the food you get. So the food the delivery gives to you can be full of craps, just because you just paying out someone else to do that for you. You are not taking direct response. And sometimes your own food will be eaten partially by the delivery guy. Sometimes the food the delivery guy delivered to you is just some occasions it's just not food. Just because of the fact you're not paying enough attention to it. So why would they give you actual food? It makes sense, isn't it? It's real. But I personally don't do that because I know all that. I see the news all the time. Once in a while, the food scandal being exposed. tons of fake food like fake eggs, fake carrots, fake rice, fake whatever, fake water, fake beer, fake alcohol. Anything you can put into your body has a fake version. Fake fish, fake pork. Yeah, there are. Like fake beef are actually, you know, some kind of mice meat. It's ridiculous. It's quite hard to accept by people who grow up in a perfect world. Everything just so clean. Everyone is so honest, and we are all love each other. People come from that place, not gonna understand all this. That's why people think China was the Great Wall. Now people think China is the bad virus. The education they receive about China is basically no longer useful. It's so outdated. That's why I have this urge, try to educating people, try to have give them an updated version of China. And back into topic of me living here for constant for almost a year. The upmost annoying element is the noise. Constant noise. I mean constant, non-stop. Okay. Starts from let's just say 4 a.m. when the sky was still dark. There are people exercising, running, you know, and they have like little speaker on their arm and play the music at the loudest volume, and that's the first source of noise. And when the sky turns bright, there are people whipping. People like to whip downstairs. That goes constant for around like an hour. When those people down, then there will be like another group of people playing this it's some kind of Chinese toys, Chinese gyro kind of toy. It makes this woo sound, and it's basically a gyro balanced a spinning woo something. When it spins the wind creates the whistle sound, and they have this like two sticks with a string connecting to each end, and it's just kind of like whipping a toy, but it's instead it's going horizontal, spinning spinning vertical, but the axle is horizontal to the ground. They play that making annoying sound. After that, another hour passed, and then it's the grass mower, just this grass cutter, this engines goes for like pretty much 4 to 5 hours. I would say twice a month. And then it's and people talking very noisy, very loud. Pretty much people who gathering together and chatting, they don't speak like I speak to you, like this level. They shout out. They have to shout. They are not they are not realize that they does that without notice, but it's so annoying. They have to shout to clear their space in order to express their opinion. Otherwise people won't listen, so you have to shout to grab other people's attention to listen to you. So the manner of conversation isn't imbalanced or isn't in gentle manner or isn't healthy. Okay, let's just say it that way. The conversation style isn't healthy, and people have to shout in order to prove their points. That's people shouting, pretty much to the noon time. At 8 a.m. every day, the road will be traffic jam, and everyone abuse their horns, because why not? When you start stuck in the traffic, and what can you do other than honking? And people do that all the time. Again, it's in people, it's in everyone. Just because they don't have this manner, they don't self-behave. It's just like a bunch of kids, uneducated kids, and when they can't drive smoothly, they honk. That's like a knee-jerk reaction when there's a traffic jam. Doesn't matter what reason. As soon as they being stuck in the traffic, honking all the time. Yeah, that's annoying. That's noise. Okay, and finally went to afternoon. Afternoon. Let me see what else we got. Let's move like jumping forward to 5 p.m. People walking their dogs in bunch, like a lot of people. At first there are a lot of population, a lot of people walking their dogs, and dogs fighting each other. Shitty people with shitty dogs, of course, and they just, even the dogs are so shitty. The dog sounds exactly like those people and shouting out every single second. The dog noise, and then it's the when the day turns dark, every 7 p.m. and those middle-aged dancing people, there are groups of people love to dance in formation, like square formation. Normally will be around 100 people, and they have this loud speaker playing. The awfulest music you could ever imagine. It's out of your imagination. It's just so awful. It's the worst thing ever. It's like it's a spiritual what is that word? Rape. It's a spiritual rape. Even you close all the vacuum windows, close all the doors, the loud, terrible sound waves still get through your ears. I have to have a noise cancellation headphone for that, for every 7 p.m. every night. It's awful. It just normally play for an hour. In the center of the city, most part of center of the city, it goes up to, I believe 3 to 4 hours. Constant noise. Living in such an environment, let me give a conclusion. Living in such an environment, you can't really focus. And of course, people living here, they don't have to focus. They are stuck in their daily dead loop, like get out of work and go back home, sleep, get out of work, go back home, sleep. They don't care. They barely survive. They are paying their debt for their life, and their life is hopeless, and they know it. Most of people, they don't have hope, and they don't know why they are still living and being forced to have work and work all day, go back home. You think those people will care about noise. They don't even care about themselves. They don't. Their dreams are long gone. Everything they care is to try not to get late to work and get paid and feed their family. For some reason, they love raising kids. They love raising kids. Chinese love raising kids, even though that may cause them to have debt, DPT, okay, for their life, pay their house debt, pay their kids' education debt. For some reason, they love that. In our education, it only says to respecting elders and kids and women. That's it. It's more like in their genetic.